Hi. My name is Erica LaShawn. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're new here. Welcome. If you're not new here, welcome. It's 10:20 p.m. It's 10:18 24. You know what? Sometimes I'm really like learning. We're doing this together. Thank you. But uh I get all type of information data in my mind or whatever, and I just have to sort through it, and I just be like, oh, I want to talk about this, I want to talk about that, whatever. Sometimes things move me and sometimes things don't. um all right, I was moved by something else, but it just brought me here. So all right, so talking or whatever, expressing, you never know when it's gonna come to you. You just never go. And that's what I love about myself. I just kind of like the fact that I'm open. And when I'm, I done been up and down. But what I like about myself is that you kind of have to like yourself, and some people don't. And that's a whole totally different thing. Okay, stop it. All right, because I have a couple of things on. I'm not. All right, so let me just say, you never know, like when people need something. You totally will never know, including yourself, including myself. Um, so one day I was coming home from work one time. I'm on the train, chilling and whatever, and I really like to see hardworking men. Uh, I know this and lose my mind. Manual labor. So I grew up with men. My father, my uncles, my brother. They did manual labor. We're the first generation to go to college. But for the most part, a lot of all the men in my family, they worked at plants. You know, GM, Chrysler. My brother worked at Ford. Stuff like that. They grew up like that. So I grew up on blue collar money. My mother worked at a factory, making dental things that people use in the dentist office or something like that. So Kerr, Kerr. She worked at Kerr, Kerr. She retired from Kerr, and she told me that they make things for whatever the dentists use on your mouth. So anyway, oh, where am I? Don't tank. Okay. Ooh, I get nervous about the tank or whatever. All right, so so I'm on the train or whatever, and I like blue collar men. You know, I grew up on blue collar, working. Okay. Um, so I like to see it. I love to see that. I love to see men in their hard hats and their steel toe boots, and their hands are ashy and white, and their jeans are dirty. They like filthy, stuff like that. I don't shy away from that, because what you really gonna do is come home and jump in the shower and get clean, and we can go from there. So I really don't. I okay. So anyway, stop. So okay, stop it. So I'm riding a train or whatever, and it was a guy next to me, and I could kind of feel. I'm very sensitive, so I can feel energy. I can, whatever. So I was just thinking like, okay, don't do it, don't do it. He was. It was kind of feeling like, hey, how you doing? What's your name? Type of deal. And I was already like, mm. But he didn't say that. What he said was, he said, "Hey sis, how you doing?" I said, "I'm fine." That's normal. When they say sis, they about to get close. So he was like, "Hey sis, how you doing?" I was like, I'm cool, you know. How are you? I'm trying to get through it. I'm thinking like, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm not interested. I don't. I'm trying to get home or whatever. And he just he flat out was like, this is what he said. So let's go. We took a breath after he said, "Hey sis, how you doing?" I'm like, "I'm fine" or whatever. How are you? A little small talk. And he flat out came out the gate and said, my mother's dying." So I took a minute. I was like, okay, okay. Cause I'm a listener. You know, I can listen. I can counsel. I can listen. And he said, "My mother is dying." I said, "Okay," because that's real out the gate. Don't nobody say that, especially on these streets, these New York streets. Don't nobody do that. So I'm thinking like, okay. I was like, okay. He was like, yeah. And he went to the story. I'm a perfect stranger. I'm a perfect stranger. And he just went into his relationship with his mother, and she wasn't doing too well, and he knew it was coming. My father went home too, so I kind of know. I know. Okay, my father went abruptly, but that feeling, you gonna die, your parents gonna die, your siblings gonna die, your everybody, we all going home. And I had these talks with my mother as a child. I'm not. We're gonna focus. So he was like, "My mother is dying." I was like, "Okay." I said, "All right." So like, what can you say when a perfect stranger, a complete stranger, comes out they face like that? So I was like, "Okay, okay." He was like, "Well, she in hospice now, and they say it's not looking too good." And he just was like pouring out, and I just sat there. I was like, "Okay." I said, "Okay." And he said, "I don't want her to go." He said, I know what's about to happen, and I don't want her to go." So that's when I kick in. I said, "Well, um, I said, she's ready. She's ready to go, And he was like, "I know, I know." I said, "Now, come on now." I said, "Come on now. She ready now." I said, "What you're doing is I went all into I went all in. I was like, you're being selfish because you want her here with you, but she got to go. And she knows she wanna go." I said, don't I said, don't I didn't take my Mucinex. I said, don't she wanna go. And she telling you to go. She telling you I'm going. And I said, we don't want to hear that because we're selfish. We would rather somebody be with us in agony on a machine. My mother told me flat out. I'm just gonna say it here. My mother told me flat out at Applebee's. Cause she came to visit me. Lakita, you was there. Hello. My mother straight up across that table said, "Listen, whatever I got is you and Eric. Whatever I got." She said, "Whatever I have is you and Eric." So me and my brother, we gotta divvy that up, and we're gonna do right because that's what my mother said. So yeah. So she told, and my mother also told me, "Don't put me on no respirator." She said, "Don't." She said, "Don't do that to me. When I'm gone, I'm gone. If you do that to me." So I'm not. And then she kind of tried to do the "don't give me no funeral, don't give me no expensive coffin." She tried to go there. I had to stop her there. I was like, "Nah, we gonna do what we want to do with you. Sorry." It's a whole backstory to that. that I don't want to get into. Um, so some things you're okay with, and some things you're not. Mom, mother, mommy, ma, Jean, Emma Jean, all the names that you are. We're gonna do you right, okay? All right. So moving forward. So that's it. So this man on the train was like, he knew what he was facing. And I just was like, it's gonna be okay. So I had a straight up intimate conversation with a stranger, and my stop came up, and I said, well, hang in there, And he was like, thank you, sis. And I was like, all right. But he was facing, he knew, listen. I told him, I said, she want to go now. I said, you can't hold her now. She want to go. I said, do you know how peaceful she's going to be? I said, do you know how peaceful she's going to be once she go home, Don't hold her. You don't do that. And it's so hard because we want them here with us. And when my father went home, I said it in a different video. Look it up, but I feel very blessed and honored because I spoke to my father the night of New Year's Eve. Yes. We said, I love you. I love you too. What you doing tomorrow? He bragging about his kids. He loved that. He bragged about his children. I said, what you doing tomorrow? He was like, well, I'm just going, it was a normal conversation. I love you. I love you too. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay. New Year's Day. My brother called me at like 10:30. Was like, oh, Dad didn't make it. I'm like, why? Okay. So your day is going to come. Your day is going to come. Their day is everybody's day going to come. Just love each other. And just love each other. And that's it. My mind is kind of bouncing around. So I think I'm going to stop it here. I used to have conversations with my mother about death when I was very, very, very young. And she would say, Erica, I want you to, my mother would always say, I want you to get an education so that you don't have to work like I do. So she kind of like put that in me or whatever. And today, oh my God, today is Friday. What time is it? Oh, it's 10:33 right now. It's Friday. I slept today and got paid. Sorry. My leadership was not there. It was like 3 of us there. And I really slept and got paid. My name is Erica LaShawn. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks, bye.